Honor and all glory to
Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash.
Babylon, our apostles and elders, our great millstone, citation, take men and virgin is working truth and insincerity, because if focus I find we risk their lives to do so. We are a couple members of GMS Trinidad camp here, the feed elect, to another lesson. Alright, we're gonna collab, let's speak.
Kan Shalom. GMS Trinidad members here tonight gathered through the spirit and power of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. You know, to touch on some scriptures, you know, pertaining to, you know, being prophets in Babylon. You know, as the Lord today has risen up his prophets, as the scripture would tell us in the book of Sirach. If I could just read this as we begin here. Sirach, the 36th chapter. Sirach chapter 36, and starting at verses I'll start at verses 12. It says, O Lord, have mercy upon the people that is called by thy name, and upon Israel, whom thou hast named thy firstborn. O be merciful unto Jerusalem, thy holy city, the place of thy rest. Fill Zion with thine unspeakable oracles, and thy people with thy glory. Give testimony unto those that thou hast possessed from the beginning, and raise up prophets that have been in thy name. All right, another reincarnation scripture here, as we always emphasize on. You know, reincarnation is something biblical, is something real, it's a part of daily life. And thank be to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, most importantly, that the prophets of the Lord are reincarnated today on the scene, alive and well, and are prophesying, you know, in the midst of all the chaos, in the midst of all the abominations, as the scripture would say in Ezekiel 9 and 4, the Lord has risen up men that are sighing and that are crying, that are bringing out the judgments that are pending for this wicked world. All right, the judgments to come upon America, upon our homeland, Israel, where these rats reside today, these people that claim to be us, these devils, all right, these thieves, Satan incarnate, that degenerate, totally degenerate race of people that has been privileged today to rule for a little season. You know, as it says in the book of Revelation, the 20th chapter, Revelation chapter 20, and I'll read at verses, I'll start at verses 2. It says, and he laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, so carrying us back to what Bara-Ashi at the beginning, in the heading. All right, that's just as I read in Ecclesiasticus 36 and verses 15 on down. All right, where the Lord has given testimony to those that he has possessed from the beginning. So it's all about going back to the beginning, where things started, where things originated. And the scripture just spoke of in Revelation 20, that old serpent. Because when Adam, all right, that first priest, when Adam, that first prophet, if you may, all right, was was given his authorization by the Most High, you know, to commit his life and service to the garden, to that land of Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai. The scripture says to dress and to keep it. There came the serpent, and this serpent, contrary to popular belief or Christian dogma, wasn't a snake. All right, to go into the word serpent, Shalom tell the Akim on the comment board, Shalom, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash, Barakatham. All right, when you go into the word serpent, in the Hebrew tongue, you would see the word Nachash, which goes into an enchanter, a one who works or does divination. All right, which precisely describes Esau Edom today to the T. And the reason the scripture tells him in the book of Isaiah, stand now with thine what? Enchantments. All right, because these devils, they commit all type of sorcery, from the Bohemian Grove, all right, to behind their closed doors, their secret societies, where they do all the different children sacrifices, sacrificing to Molech, right, where they worship that great owl, right, where they worship Baphomet, they worship Satan. This world is under the influence of Satan. Hence the reason it says, and he laid hold on the dragon, continuing Revelation 20 and verse 2, right? But the dragon, as we read of in Revelation 12th chapter, the 13th chapter, the dragon was what? It was red, signifying the man behind it. Red in the Hebrew tongue is Adawam, or as we would say in English, Edom. Edom is Esau. All right, the so-called today white man, self-proclaimed white man, the Caucasian race. All right, dwelt in the Caucasus Mountains, and today now claiming to be the only upstanding human beings on the earth, claiming to be the ones that has the highest IQ level when they were when they were created to be the basis of men. Or as Job said it in Job the 30th chapter, they were children of fools. All right, that's right. It says Revelation 20 and verse 2, that old serpent, which is the devil, is a deceiver. And how we know he is the devil? That image, Cesare Borgia image, right? All the images that they painted, as the scripture says in Job 9:24, he covered the faces of the judges thereof, right? In the Sistine Chapel, they go there, you will see all the whitewashing done, all the iconoclasm done, the Renaissance art that was done. All right, that was all done in deception to deceive the whole world. Where today all people predominantly believe that the Messiah was a so-called white man. They believe, all right, that his name was Jesus. They believe in his falsehood. They believe in white supremacy. This is what these devils had endeavored, to get us to believe in their white supremacy. All right, go ahead.
This is the book of First Maccabees, chapter 1. First Maccabees, chapter 3, select, and verses 48. It says, and laid open the book of the law,
right,
wherein the heathen had sought to paint the likeness of their images.
And this heathen is Esau Edom. This is in the book of Maccabees. In the time of the Maccabeans, was under the what empire? The Grecian Empire. That's why Revelation 13 tells us it started as a leopard. When you go into the leopard, I write in Daniel, if I could just plug that in real quick. The book of Daniel. Is that it on that precept, or you could finish it?
Yeah, it can.
Okay.
How do you want to feel that? That's it.
Go ahead.
This book of Daniel, chapter 7, and verses 6. It says, and after this I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl. The beast had also 4 heads, and dominion was given to it.
Yeah, power was given to it. Right, this leopard, which represents precisely Alexander the Great Freak, right, as he's known, the son of Philip II, or Philip of Macedon, as it would tell in First Maccabees 1:1, right, and them 4 wings, right, as it said just now, if you could read that part again, 4 wings and what?
It says, and the beast also had, so like I'll pull it back a little bit. It says, I read the verse over. It says, after this I beheld, and lo, another, like a leopard, which had upon the back of it 4 wings of a fowl.
4 wings of a fowl. What are these 4 wings as a fowl? You see, the Christian church, they won't be able to tell you what that is.
That's right.
The regular Negro won't be able to tell you what that is. Hence the reason the prophets are on the scene, to be able to go into these things that were done back then, because these things that were done back then were prophesied. Daniel is now speaking of these things before it took place. This is what Daniel is doing, prophesying of kingdoms to come, as prophets would do. And what we prophesying today, just like Jeremiah 28:8 says, we prophesying against these great kingdoms, against their rulership, against their structure. And when they started as the Greeks. These 4 wings as a fowl represented the 4 generals that came up after Alexander the Great Freak, also known as the Diaduchi. The word Diaduchi, right, means successors. All right, and the successors of Alexander the Great Freak, right, it boiled down to 4, because there were Diaduchi wars which took out, I believe there was Antigonus, right. He got bombed out at the Battle of Ipsus, right, where 3 of the 4 main generals that remained took him out, right. And the generals were Lysimachus, Ptolemy, which ruled over Egypt, right? You know that famous name Ptolemy, had a dynasty of the Ptolemies, right? So you had Ptolemy, Cassander, and Seleucid, all right? Seleucus, right? So Seleucus, Lysimachus, Ptolemy, and Cassandra. These are things that are secular history that you could go and you can look up and find information on these.
Make a quick point to add to the brother, because the brother make mention how accurate the scriptures is, right? And that is the book of Proverbs, the first chapter, where the Lord speaks about to make, you know, understanding from to the simple, right? To make them understand dark sentences. And there is how we could go into the scriptures. There is how we could go. There is how we could go into the scriptures, Tawara. There is how we could go into the scriptures and decipher and take the meat of the bone and be able to break down who is the fowl, who is the wings, what the four wings represent, what the leopard represent, right? This is what the Lord did with the prophets.
That's right.
Amos chapter 3.
That's right.
Right? He revealed the secrets. And this secular history ties with the scriptures.
Yeah, history is prophecy fulfilled. That's what it is. So if these things that happened in secular history did take place and the Bible recorded it, then guess what? The things that are recorded to come, all right, as we say in the Caribbean, you bet your bottom dollar is going to come to pass.
That's right.
All right? Yeah, some.
In 2nd John 15:1. Behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in thy mouth, saith the Lord, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true.
And they won't just written, right, to just have today on your dashboard. Like they take the Bible, or people today literally take the Bible and open it up on Psalms, which is a book filled with prophecy as well, right? They open it up on the Psalms and they think that that is going to drive away spirits, that is how you use the book. Those things were written because they are faithful and true, and to be given to what? Those that are faithful. As the scripture says in 2 Timothy. Go ahead.
2 Timothy 2:2. It says, and the things that thou hast heard of me among many witnesses, the same cometh thou to faithful men, who shall be able to teach others
also.
That's
The
right.
prophecies were given and written for us today to now teach them. That's why the prophecies were written, to be taught. These Christians, this Pastor Porkchop, take the Bible and all he could bring is John 3:16. What about the prophecies, Pastor? What about what was written to come? What about the book of Revelations? Pastors today shamefully say, you see the book of Revelation, that's sealed. No, it's not. We get from Revelation 21 and verses 10. Let's see if it's sealed. Revelation 21 and 10.
Revelation
Select. Revelation 22 and verses 10.
Revelation 22 and verse 10. And he said unto me, seal not the sayings of the prophecy of this book, for the time is at
The
hand.
time is at hand. This is the time where everything is opening up. What's happening to Pastor Porkchop is that he hasn't received the unction to know what is written in this book. It hasn't been opened up to him. As the scripture says, the vision of all is unto a book that is sealed. All right, which one deliver unto one that is not learned, saying, read this, I pray thee. And he said, I cannot, for it is what? Sealed unto him. It's not sealed unto us. To Wara Yahweh Basham Yahweh Shai. That's what Megan is it?
There's the book of 2nd Ezra chapter 8 verse 61. And therefore is my judgment now at hand. These things have I not showed unto all men, but unto thee and a few like thee. Then answered I and said, behold, O Yahweh Hashem Yahushai, now hast thou showed me the multitudes of the wonders, as the one of the prayer, all right, that Habakkuk prayed. Habakkuk the 3rd chapter. You know, he asked the Lord to what? To revive his work.
That's right.
And what the Lord doing right now is he reviving the work.
That's right.
You know?
Prophet is in prophet mode, as he titled here. Right? This is prophet mode. It's been revived, it's been revamped, it's been reignited on the earth. And you can't stop this work. As the scripture says, for the earth shall be filled with the knowledge of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, as far as the waters cover the sea. This truth is flooding this place. This prophethood is flooding this earth. Go ahead. Yeah, brother.
This is Revelation chapter 19 and verse 10. And I fell at his feet to
Beautiful.
worship him. And he said unto me, see thou do it not. I am thy fellow servant and of thy brethren
Mhm.
that have the testimony of Yahushai.
Mm.
Worship power,
Mhm.
for the testimony of Yahushai
Yahushai
is the spirit of prophecy.
Is the spirit. This right now, what you're witnessing on the earth in a large scale is the testimony of Yahushai. This is what we're here to testify. We're not here to testify of ourselves. What we're doing here is not of us. This is not of Apostle Taha. This is not of Apostle Gabal or Apostle Ariamla or Apostle Racha. This is of Yahushai. The testimony of Yahushai. If somebody could read John 3 and
33.
verses 33.
Turn. Want to read it yet?
Hmm?
Want to read it?
Yeah, that's John what?
John chapter 33.
John chapter 3 and 33, right? You see, he that had received his testimony
Mm-hmm.
had set to his seal that his power is true.
That power is true. You have to receive his testimony. So if his testimony is to be received, see, there's a receiving end, so there has to be a giving end, right? There had to be those that give the testimony, and then there have to be those that to receive it. And those that have received the testimony had set to their seal. As it says in Revelation, the 7th chapter, hurt not the earth nor any tree, right? Till we have what? Sealed the servants of power in their foot. They're being sealed with this testimony, with this knowledge.
Our precept.
Go ahead.
With the seal, right? Isaiah 8:16. It says, bind up the testimony, seal the law among my disciples.
That's right. You say bind up the testimony. When you bind something, you make it firm. You know? You gather it up. You bring it together. You make it whole. Bind up the testimony and what? Seal it. Among my disciples. Is among those that are followers of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai.
That's right.
All right, i.e. his elect. That's who's going to receive this testimony. That's who's going to be sealed ultimately in the end. Go ahead. We could take 2 more precepts and then wrap it up.
There's Amos 9 and verse 11. Says, in that day will I raise up the tabernacle of David that is fallen, and close up the breaches thereof, as you see just now. You know, you're binding it, meaning you're closing up, but breaches like a opening
in a wall.
In a wall,
especially. And a fun fact is that when you're typing, I believe it's H1447, right? The word wall comes up. All right, when you look at it in the Strong's, word wall comes up. Go ahead.
It says, and close up the breaches thereof, and I will raise up his ruins, and I will build it as in the days of old. And that is bringing the 2 tribes together, the southern and the northern kingdom.
And when scripture says, by the Lord doing this, right, what he's about to do, he's about to glorify that kingdom by his wisdom, right? And as the scripture says, what? The latter glory of this kingdom, you know, it ain't going to be greater than the former.
So you had a precept, you man?
Nah.
Oh, sorry. All right, well, hey, Lord willing, we hope this was edifying. We give all praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKakodash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, our teachers that surely do will well. Peace, love, salutations to you men, you brethren on the 4 corners of this world. Continues to spread this word, this gospel in all sincerity and in truth. Our mighty brothers here at Trinidad, the prophets here at Trinidad, saying keep feeding your faith and stop it those that stay strong. Shalom.
Shalom.
Mawat lababal.
Mawat lababal.
You can have it.